Hey friend, Sean with Guided Productions, and welcome to step 4 in our series, How to Edit a Video from Scratch. Now, up to this point, we have organized our files in our computer, we have launched Premiere Pro, we've clicked around and gotten ourselves super comfy with the program, or at least hopefully more comfortable than you were beforehand. We even did some basic editing, and today is all about sweetening. That's right, we're gonna take things to the next level. I will show you how to put music in your video, I'll show you how to add graphical elements and text in your video. We may even animate a few things. Friend, if you feel like your video just doesn't call for some of the things we're gonna discuss here today, that's okay. I just wanted to show you a couple of the cool things you can do right inside Premiere Pro that are pretty simple and can really up the professionalism of your video. So that is what we're gonna discuss today. Now, before we dive in, grab your 6 steps to creating better video guide. This is my free gift to you. Yes, you over there. But I outline everything from idea to export. I walk you through every step of the video journey, so you don't even have to think about it. I just try to make it very simple for you. So please download your free copy, make copies of it over your own, send it out to your friends. I don't care. It's yours. It's my free gift to you. It's a gift. So you don't have to give it back, because then it wouldn't be a gift. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more time than I already have. Friend, you're going to see the polished product today. You're going to see the culmination of your hard work from everything we did in part 1 of how to film a video from scratch, everything we've discussed in editing a video from scratch. I am so excited. I hope you are just as excited as I am. So without further ado, let's launch Premiere Pro, pull up our project, and get editing. Let's go. All right, welcome to my editing workspace right here inside Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, if you were following along in our last week's video, I am picking up right where we left off. All we did was pull in our footage, did a little coloring here, pulled in our audio, we cleaned up our muddy audio, pulled out the background noise, worked with EQ and compression. Then of course I just put a cross dissolve on the front and back end of my footage to make it fade in from black, and then of course fade out to black. Now today is all about sweetening, and what do I mean by that? Well, we're gonna polish things up a bit, just take it to the next level. We're gonna add in an audio track to play some music behind our video. We're gonna add a logo at the end, and we can kind of animate that just to give it a little more interest. And then I'll add a text layer as well. Now, personally, I don't feel like my video calls for, say, a lower third where it pops your name up here in the lower third corner of your video. But for the purposes of this project, I do want to show you how simple that is to do if you feel like it is worth the while in your video. And so let's go ahead and start there. Because that is a text layer, a graphical layer that sits over top of my footage, I am going to go up to my little box here, it says workspaces, click that and go down to captions and graphics. So we'll go ahead and click that, let Premiere load. Now you can do custom lower thirds, you can make them animated, change the colors, do all kinds of cool things, but there are also a ton of built-in presets into Premiere, and you can find them just by typing into the search bar lower third, or as you see here, it's right in this scroll bar. You see I have all these different lower third options. Now I think these are actually third-party lower thirds that I pulled from a different program at one point in time. But right here, basic lower third, I know that this is native to Adobe Premiere Pro, and it should be showing in your window as well. Just hold that, click, hold, drag it right onto your timeline, right where you think you want that to pop up. Now I happen to know that this section of audio is where I say my name. If I just play this back to you, you'll see. On a budget. My name is Sean, and I've had the privilege and honor of serving video clients of all sizes. So there you go. Now, that feels a little large to me, so I'm just gonna scale it back a little bit. Don't worry that it moves toward the center. You could always readjust that here with the position. You can just drag it up and down, left and right. So I'm gonna just kind of put it right in that general area. Now, obviously, my name is not your name here, so I can just go ahead and double click in here, highlight everything. There we go. And just type in our name. And let's say I want the bottom to be, oftentimes you'll put like your title or position or the company. I'll just put founder of Guided Productions. So there you have it. Now, if I play this back, it's not very exciting. My name is Sean, and I've had the privilege and honor of serving video clients of all sizes and across multiple industries. So it's just text that pops up, not very exciting at all. So if I go to the effects panel here, you can see I had already typed in cross for cross dissolve before when we added that onto our footage. I've got it pulled up, but you can do the same. If we just drag that onto the front and again, drag that onto the back, this at least allows that text to fade in and fade out and makes it a little more interesting. Budget. My name is Sean, and I've had the privilege and honor of serving video clients of all sizes and across multiple industries. So there you have it, a very simple way to add a lower third. Now, if my video did call for this and I intended to keep this on here, I would go a bit more in depth. I could animate this and make it slide in and do some cool things. But I think for the purposes of this, we're going to call that good for today. If you are interested in that sort of thing, getting more into the animation side within Premiere Pro, leave a comment below. I would be happy to hear that from you and certainly do a future video on the subject. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is add an end slide. I want the video to cut to my logo, let the music fade out a little bit. And you're probably wondering, where is the music? Well, I don't want to put the music in yet until I have everything visually on the screen, because that is going to help dictate where the music is going to fade in, fade out, where I need to pull the track around. And so let's go ahead and finish that portion before we go any further. Now, right now, let me just play the end of the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. It just cuts straight to black and it's not very exciting. Let's listen to this. Guided Productions is excited to be your roadmap to creative expression. And that's it. Now, here is where I want my logo to come up in the center of the screen, maybe zoom in, animate it a little bit so that it kind of zooms in as you're watching this and the music fades out. And then I actually went out into my driveway and took a video of the palm trees I have next to my driveway. And I'm just going to put those in the corners of my frame here, just to create kind of this visual element that lends itself to the palm leaves in the background here. I feel like that will tie in nicely, especially with the music that I've chosen. It just creates this really warm and inviting feel. So let's go ahead and find that. So if I go back to my project panel here, welcome to Guided Productions. Here's where I have all my assets, my audio, elements, footage, and my sequences. Now I know that the footage I want is right here. It's called Palm Tree. This is the clip that I took in my driveway. I literally shot it on my iPhone. And what I'm going to do is take just a portion of this and I want to create a silhouette of it. So I want to bring in a color matte. Instead of cutting to a black screen, it's actually going to cut to a deep blue screen. Then I'm going to put the palm leaves as like a shadow in the corners. That will help frame my logo that will then slide up in the middle. And we're going to do this in real time right here, right now. So I have already built this sequence. So if I jump to my sequences, go to palm trees, this is the sequence. Now you're not going to see anything here because, as I said, it's a silhouette. They're a shadow. So you're not actually going to see them on a black screen because they are black. So all I got to do is take that sequence and I can drag it right onto my timeline here, just like that. I will right click this and I'm going to unlink my audio because I just don't even need that track on here. There's no audio here. I just want to clean that up a bit. Now, in order to see this, we need to have a color layer underneath. So I am going to use a keyboard shortcut, Option up arrow. Boom, just moves that track up one level. And we are going to use this box down here at the left. It says new item. If you click that, I can use what's called a color matte. So I am going to click that, click OK. Now it gives me the option to choose any color that I wish on this slider. I happen to know the color code for my deep blue or this navy. It's the color that's on my shirt. And I'm just going to type that in right here. 003049 is the color code. Hit OK or push enter. And you can even title this, I'll call it blue matte. Okay. Now I like to tidy this up a bit. I am actually going to move that blue matte into my elements folder. I'll collapse my sequences. And I'm going to pull that blue matte all the way to my timeline. Put it right here underneath those palm leaves. So now if I go here, now you can see my palm leaves. All I've done is taken this video, I've adjusted the color and saturation and made it so everything else that's not green is gone. And then I've just darkened everything up to kind of make these palm leaves look like a shadow. And then I just layered a bunch of them on top of each other, changed the rotation ever so slightly, and slowed up and sped up some of the footage so that it just kind of looks like they're waving in the breeze. And I think that's going to go nicely. It ties into the rest of the video. You can see palm leaves behind me. And as this fades to here, we have those very nice palm leaves going here. So now I just need to put my logo in there. And I have that over here in my elements folder. I have a balanced logo white. It's just a PNG file. So there's no background here. This black will go away. All you have is the white, and there's a little bit of color inside of my boxes here in my logo. I'm just going to drag that then right on top of my palm trees. And there you have it. So it's already starting to come together. Now, I already know that I kind of want my palm leaves. See how they go over that G a little bit, but they're blocked by it? I actually kind of want the palm leaves to be in front of the logo. I think it would look kind of cool to see how they're almost shading the logo a bit. Gives it a bit more of a summery vibe. So I'm just going to highlight both of these. Option up arrow, move those up a track. And then I will just take my logo track and drop it beneath the palm trees. And now you can see it's subtle, but those palm leaves actually cross over my logo, which I think is really cool here. So for the animation component, let's go to our effect controls. I have my logo track selected. If I go to effect controls, I'm going to bring this playhead all the way back to the very beginning. It's going to go as far as I can go before that track ends. And I'm just going to rescale my logo. I think it could be a little smaller. Let's go to, say, let's go 75% right there. So I will click the little stopwatch to set a keyframe, and then I'm going to drag this to the end of that track. And I say I want it to be, let's go 105. And then all we'll do is just play that back and see how it looks. I think that's okay. I actually think that that moves a bit quicker than I'd like it to, and it's a bit bigger. I'm just going to make it go 100%. So it'll be a little smaller, and let's play that back. All right, I'm liking that so much. Let's see what this transition looks like from the video to the logo. To creative expression. Okay, that's looking pretty cool to me. So at this point, we've added a lower third with our name, company name, that sort of thing, if you feel that is needed in your video. We added a blue color mat to our track. We added our logo in here. We animated that logo and then added this cool little framey thing just to add some visual interest. I really like where things are going. Now, the last component here that I want to do to really sweeten things up and take it to the next level is add in that music track that's just going to tie everything together. If there are any subtle imperfections in the audio, that's where this is really going to get pulled out because you're going to be distracted by the music. So let's go ahead and find the track. I just went on the YouTube Studio, which, by the way, the YouTube Studio, make an account on YouTube if you don't already have one. Go to the YouTube Studio. You can get royalty-free sound effects and royalty-free music that's built exclusively for folks who are creating video such as this. This is where I found this track. So you'll see it's already produced and compressed, and look at that waveform. That is monstrous. I can already tell that if I pull this in, it is just going to blow everything out of the water. But this is the track. So I'm just going to drag that right onto my timeline. Now, I don't want to blow my eardrums out, so I'm just going to go ahead and start by lowering this. Let's go 18 decibels. Let's just lower that and see what that volume sounds like by itself. Okay, we'll play that back over the dialogue as well to see how that sits in the mix overall. We don't want to distract from what's being spoken because that is the message, right? The music should support that and not distract from it. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, let me jump to my editing workspace because I get a bit of a longer timeline and I want you to be able to see what's going on here. First thing you're going to notice is this audio track is by far longer than the video itself, right? So how do we find a way to condense this track in a way that's going to fit our video? Well, one thing you could do is just to keep looking for soundtracks until you find one that perfectly matches down to the second your video length. That is a complete waste of time and probably not going to happen. Or you can find a creative way to cut up this audio track and make it fit into your video. So what I like to do, I know that I'm going to want some part of the beginning. I'm going to use my C, the keyboard shortcut C, to get my razor tool. I'm just going to cut this audio track in half. We can forget about that half for a moment. And let's zoom in on the beginning and see how we want this to sound. So it looks like it doesn't start right away. I can cut a little bit of that out and pull that in. Let's just see what this sounds like. Hey friend, welcome to Guided Productions, a video education resource I've designed to help you create world-class. So it's still a bit too loud for me. I am just gonna expand this track a bit more. There we go. Let's bring it down. Let's do 22 decibels. Let's just see what that sounds like. Hey friend, welcome to Guided Productions, a video education resource I've designed to help you create world-class content on a budget. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. And I actually want that to be just a little bit shorter. I want that downbeat of the music to start before I start speaking. I know it does here, but I want to give myself a little more time. I'm going to drag this back. Come on, snap to the playhead, and then pull that back. And now let's just see what that sounds like. Hey friend, welcome to Guided Productions, a video education resource Yeah, I'm really liking that. Okay, I still think this could be a little quieter. Let's go 24 decibels. Hey friend, welcome to Guided Productions, a video education resource I've designed to help you create. Okay, that's starting to feel like it sits well in the mix. Now, I did do Command S to save this. It's just a habit of mine. Anytime I make a change, I'll always grab Command S to save that. So now we've got a good track that plays through the whole video, but it doesn't end. And this is certainly not how I want my video to end. Two things you can do here. You can just fade the music out until the video ends, which is an acceptable way to close things out. Plenty of videos will do that, but I actually know that there's a kind of a cool drum beat at the end of this track. Let's see if I can play it right here. And I like that the music drops out and it's just the drums for a little bit. That's actually what I want to be playing behind my logo. And then as soon as we hit that last downbeat of the drums, my logo is going to disappear and it'll just go black, which just creates even more visual interest right up until the end of the video. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to drag this portion back. Now, I didn't actually delete anything. If I want to reveal more of that audio, I can just drag this forward because, again, Premiere is sourcing this from my source monitor, which is pulling from my audio folder, which is linked to the audio folder that I built on my desktop and my hard drive that's housing this entire file. So I can reveal more or pull back less and still maintain the data. So I'm just going to pull that back for ease of working. And I'm going to shorten this up as well because I know I really only care about that last little bit. So let's bring this over and try to line up those drums with our logo and see how close we can get. And then we'll worry about what to do in the middle here in just a moment. Your roadmap to creative expression. Okay, we are getting very close. You can see that waveform there visually. This little peak here is that last drum hit, and I want that to line up exactly with the end of my video. So when it hits, it just goes black. So let's see about right there. That's pretty cool. Now, there is a bit of a decay here with that symbol, but I don't need quite that much. And I'm just going to do Command click to add a little dot here. I'm going to do Command click again here at the end and pull that down. And all this is going to do is take that decay and fade it out a little bit quicker. This is what that sounds like. And that's the end of our video. So now you can see my video ends at 59 seconds. I'm just under a minute. How very exciting. Okay, but now we have this huge gap in the middle. What are we going to do? Well, there are a couple of things that we can do here. We don't want to just bring this together because the beat is not going to line up and it's going to be kind of a nasty transition. Let's see if you can pick it out as we play through this whole video thing, right? You don't know what you need or even where to begin. Okay. So I realize I also made an audio adjustment or a volume adjustment after I split the track. So that's -24. We got to bring this down to match. We always want our levels to match. Oop, I see what we're doing here. Don't want that. Let's just do this. 24. 24. Perfect. Okay. So even if I mute my dialogue, you're going to notice quite a difference in the music. Let's listen to this. See, it almost sounds like it skips. Now, some folks will tell you to do if we go to our audio effects, there is one called constant. Oop, I am in my project panel. If we go to our effects panel, get rid of cross, and if we start typing in constant
power. Constant power is what we're looking for here. You can drag this on and put it right over the cut there, and you can actually adjust how long you want this to be. Now, what is this doing? This is essentially overlapping the audio. It's creating a cross dissolve into itself. Now, I don't personally like this method because it's going to play both tracks over top of each other until it's done. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you still get that skip effect. It just does not sound good. That's not what we're looking to do here. So I'm going to delete just that constant power. So what I'm going to do is actually bring this audio track, the second half, down to its own layer. Here, I can tighten that up a bit. Since we're working with audio, I can move that up, and I want to expand this. And here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to these audio tracks and try to find an opportunity where I think that enough is going on that I can cross fade and kind of cross things out a little bit to make it a bit more seamless, if you will. So let's just listen to this for a little bit. I'm going to mute this track and just see if I can find an area where I think it makes sense to kind of switch ourselves over. So right there, it kind of repeats that intro. So let's remember this section here. Now I want to listen to the bottom and see if there's any part of this that kind of matches that. So right there, it makes kind of that natural return to that intro. So right in here. Yep. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit. That is where I want this bottom portion of the audio to kick back in. So here is how I would do that. I'm going to pull this back. I know that at the playhead, this is where I want this bottom track. I want it to finish out from here on out. So I am actually just going to command click and command click. I'm going to bring my fader down. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this top track. Command click. Let's see, did I get it? Oh, I did get it. Okay. And then command click. Bring that fader down. And the idea here is that I actually want to create kind of my own cross dissolve or constant power, if you will. But rather than just blindly overlapping two sections of the audio, I'm intentionally overlapping a portion where I know it's going to reset back on that home base, back on that intro, and it'll sound a bit more natural. Let's just, at a first go, there might need to be some more adjustments. So let's listen to this real quick. There we go. Okay, it's not perfect. I'm going to pull this in, and I'm actually going to leave this up a little bit longer. Let's just see if we can get something that sounds pretty good. It's actually not terrible. I don't hate that at all. Let's go ahead and extend this out a little bit. Try one more time. Okay, so if you're watching that cut, you're always going to know that there's something going on there. But I just want to show you what happens when I bring back the dialogue. Okay. And I'm just going to hide that a bit so you can't see. Okay, now let's see what happens.
Come in. I'll serve as your guide, helping you navigate the entire video production process from idea to export, giving you the confidence to create pro video without breaking the bank. So that's
a pretty good run at kind of bringing the audio together. We've just layered those two tracks and faded one out as we faded the other in. It does kind of sound a little bit weird if you know what to look for, but once everything is in motion and you're hearing the dialogue and you're not looking for the cut, it's pretty, it does a pretty decent job of fooling the viewer. So I feel pretty good about that. Now, one last thing I do want to note is as that dialogue cuts out at the very end here, I actually want to bring my volume back up to a nice level that just kind of takes us home. So I'm going to do the same thing, command click, and we'll leave that right there as it is. And let's just bring this back up to like, let's say negative 15 decibels. Now this could be too much, too little. Let's just see what that sounds like as we close out our video.
To be your roadmap to creative expression.
Let me try that one more time.
Excited to be your roadmap to creative expression.
Okay, I actually want to pull this over a little bit. I have it jumping up a little too quick. We'll put it right here. There's a beat in here that I want it to come up on. Let's see.
To creative expression.
Okay, I like that. I actually feel like we could go higher. Let's go to negative 12.
Map to creative expression.
That's it, my friend. I think we got ourselves a good video here. Because it is 59 seconds, I am just going to play through this one last time so you can take a look. But I think we have ourselves a pretty darn good video that's ready to publish, which we will discuss next week. But let's take a look one last time at what this looks like.
Hey friend, welcome to Guided Productions, a video education resource I've designed to help you create world-class content on a budget. My name is Sean, and I've had the privilege and honor of serving video clients of all sizes and across multiple industries. And in recent years, I've found that the most impactful content is often the simplest content. And that's because it's authentic and engaging. There's no need for Hollywood budgets or special effects teams, just a good idea and a great delivery. But what if you're new to this whole video thing, right? You don't know what you need or even where to begin. Well, that's where I come in. I'll serve as your guide, helping you navigate the entire video production process from idea to export, giving you the confidence to create pro video without breaking the bank. So whether you're volunteering to run social media at your local church, you want to share your small business with the community, or maybe you just want to create better videos for your friends and family to enjoy, Guided Productions is excited to be your roadmap to creative expression. All right, my friends, so now that you're able to see the final product, you're seeing the culmination of your hard work, everything we did in the pre-production side of things, of crafting our story, finding our location, setting up and filming the video. We went through production and of course, post-production where we have edited this thing and we have sweetened it up and we've made it super professional. I want to hear from you. Was this easier than you expected? Was it more challenging? Are there certain things you wished I would have addressed along the way to make the process smoother for you? Leave a comment below. I'm not chasing likes and subscribes here. I just want to make sure that we're creating valuable content for you to make your video journey as seamless as possible. Friend, congratulations. If this was your first time ever creating a video from scratch, that is something to be proud of. You literally created a masterpiece from nothing, and I think that is incredible. Now, next week, we will be talking about what to do next. We're gonna export this video and I will walk you through the process to get it onto YouTube or social media. Whatever it is that you wish to do, we will discuss that together. But friend, I'm super pumped for you. I hope you are proud of yourself. Have an amazing day, and I will see you on another video real soon.